listen to the show and peep what these dudes bring. If you didn't know, it's an orange and blue thing. Hope to win the championship and a few rings. We're talking baseball. It's an orange and blue thing. Walk off if the game's tied like shoestrings. It's a Mets podcast, orange and blue thing. Beat the other team with defense and a few swings. LFGM, it's an orange and blue thing.
What's up, Mets fans? Listen, back around 2010-ish, maybe 2011-ish,
okay,
there was a shirt that came out for the 7 Line, which is a brand that is part of the show that you're watching right now, so you might know this by now.
Correct.
It said, "Keep calm and cheer on."
A bold ask of Mets fans.
Bold ask, but the Braves have been playing like unconscious.
Yeah.
Right?
Sure.
Unconscious.
Yeah.
Since June 1st. The Mets, if you look at their record from June 1st to now, whatever, they're still like a 90-something win baseball team.
But what the Braves are doing is ridiculous.
Right. So you asked me last week, or maybe it was last week or the week before,
last week,
what would be a failure for the Mets this season? Would it be like World Series or bust? And I'm pretty sure I said to you, like, it's not going to be the easiest task to win the division. So get to the playoffs and hopefully get past the wild card if it comes down to that. And I'm not like conceding at this point because we have a month left to go. But the Braves and the Mets, both, if you look at both schedules, both have what you would consider an easy schedule.
Correct.
So the Braves are starting tonight in Oakland, which should be, you should think that's going to be a win considering how they've been playing. And the Oakland A's are pretty bad. And the Mets are playing the Pirates. So you look at it last weekend too. The Nationals won like 18 games on the road this year.
Yeah.
They come to Citi Field. It's almost like the Marlins back in the day.
I was just going to say, I had such Marlins vibes. Back-to-back 7-1 wins. Are we kidding?
Yeah.
I mean, it's like, everyone said when the Braves went on that like 14-15 run tear, whatever it was, that like, oh, well, they're playing really easy teams, blah, blah, which was true. But it's like, you have to be, and the Mets, and listen, 2 games does not change the fact that the Mets have been really good all season at winning series. Even if they don't sweep, they beat the bad teams or whatever. But like, now is when it really counts. This is not the time to let the Nationals win a series, but I'm trying not to panic.
I mean, what's done is done. It's too late to take anything back now. But look at this. Look at this tweet from Knockahoma Nation. Okay, whatever. I liked it because I wanted to make sure I referenced it from the show,
Perfect.
So since the start of games on June 1st, the Mets are 51-33. That's a 98 win pace over 162 games. They've lost 9.5 games in the standings during that time. So like the Mets are doing what they need to do.
No, I know. It's really not a matter of like, you can't even say like knock on wood because anything could happen. But it's not like the Mets are collapsing. It's not like they're losing 2 games, losing a series happens. Like that's not, it happens every season. This is the first series
of the entire season where the Mets came into it as the favorite and lost.
Right. So it's so hard to criticize, but it's also very easy to be like, come on, like now is not the time.
Right.
But
I mean, I'd rather lose now than lose the last weekend of the season. So I wasn't planning on it because, I felt like after Oakland, I'm going in a couple weeks to Oakland. And if you're waiting on those ticket packages they started shipping today with your shirt and your patch and all that. But I thought that was my last time traveling.
You're going to Atlanta
until spring training. And I feel like that first weekend of October. I'm shot.
I know.
Of October is going to be spent down in Atlanta.
I had every intention of going and I forgot that I was already scheduled to work that weekend, but my aunt lives like an hour away from Atlanta and I was just going to go to the whole series
because after that they do come back to Citi Field and close out. The last game of the season is October 5th, but if it comes down to where there is a possible chance where the Mets can wrap it up,
I know
I have to be there.
I feel like it's going to come down, or maybe a team doesn't clinch that series, but like that's gonna make or break it. Like that's going to it's gonna put the nail in the coffin.
It's putting a fucking pit in my stomach right now. And my stomach's already grumbling, so I need to eat some lunch. But I'm already like getting sick to you said it last week too. Like you're kind of getting nervous thinking about playoffs and so on and so forth. But
you got to get there first.
You got to get there. But I mean, if by some chance, like let's say one team is up by a game or whatever, and you go into that series and then you take 2 out of 3 or whatever it is, and then you come back home and you have to win. That's exactly what happened in 2007.
I know. And they're playing the friggin' Nationals last series too, right?
Yeah.
So if there are new Marlins, that's I mean, they don't play. I don't think so. They don't play the Nationals again until that series, right?
I don't think so. But listen, it's not all doom and gloom because you're going to lose a series eventually.
Listen, we're just conditioned to be this way.
Right.
And I always, like I've said this several times, I would rather be pleasantly surprised than disappointed. So I am tempering all of my expectations. And I'm really like, I've kind of given this to God. I'm not trying to plan like, I'm not counting magic numbers. I'm like, where are they going to clinch? It's just whatever's going to happen is going to happen. Yeah. It's out of my hands. And I just have to enjoy it.
I'm thinking unless there's like an epic collapse on the Braves part and like we just go on a sick run. I was hoping that maybe we saw some sparks in Oakland, like being out there with the group, being there with the crew and having it come down. But they're not going to clinch a week and a half early. So if at all. So like we'll see what happens. But after today, they play 2 tomorrow in Pittsburgh. They're off this Thursday. They go for 3 in Miami, which like you're looking at these series, like they should win the series, right?
They should.
Then next Monday, the Cubs come to us. We should win the series. Pirates are in for 4 straight after that. We should at very least split the series.
Yeah, well,
right?
I mean, but also like we probably would have said this about the Nationals last week. Like we should have won. We should have swept that series.
So like hopefully they just get that shit out of the way. Yeah. Like the stink of the weekend is done. They have they got the off day yesterday.
That's what I was going to ask you.
But it didn't even rain.
I know. And so I don't even know if that I at first I was like, okay, thank God. They kind of need a day to breathe. They need a day to like let that go and not bring whatever happened yesterday into Monday. But at the same time, now they have to play a double header on Wednesday?
Tomorrow, yeah.
Yeah, their bullpen is so taxed. Max didn't go the full Max outing. Cookie had a short outing. And those are the guys that you're looking to like eat up innings. So I am nervous about the pitching. And obviously the offense has been asleep for the past week plus, but this is where I'm getting nervous. I'm getting nervous about like what is sustainable for the next really like 2 months. If you're going to go through the playoffs, like you got some time left that you have to get it into gear.
Well, the good thing about that is that if you do make it in, there are more off days, so you can rest a little bit more.
So who, I'm so curious, who is your starting rotation for the postseason?
I have no idea because we don't know what's up with Scherzer. So the other day, like his early exit, and then they talked to him afterwards. And he's like, I shouldn't miss a start. I should be fine. Yeah. I mean, he knows his body more than anybody. Right. So I guess it was preventative. He's like, listen, I could push it here, but then I could be out for the rest of the month. So like, let me pump the brakes here, which I think is very mature of him. Obviously, at this rate of his career, obviously he knows what's up. So we'll see. But I think it's too early to figure that out. I think that let's just get there, like you said. It
just gives me so
much
anxiety.
Figure it out.
I know. It's just this bullpen. And it's like almost like a good thing to think, okay, well, some of these starters we can put in the bullpen and we have them there to help. But I'm also just who do you move? Who do you keep?
I'm nervous about Trevor May, obviously back on the IL.
Yeah. Well, okay, Trevor May, they're not assigning an injury to it, so it's assumed it's COVID. Okay. So I don't think he's hurt. I think they're not going to say it, but that's code for when they don't say it is that it's a COVID related thing.
Well, I'm cool with that then.
Yeah, I think Trevor May will be fine. I mean, I don't know.
Do you wish people to get COVID, but I'd rather he get COVID than
I hope he's feeling okay. I hope his family is okay.
Blown out shoulder, yeah, right.
But I don't think it's injury related. So we will see. Guillorme coming back soon should hopefully help. Jeff McNeil has been so solid all year, and he had 2 errors this weekend. I could be wrong. I think Gary said he had like 1 or 2 errors like the whole year and then made 2 in this series over the weekend. So again, I think we talked about this last week with Edwin Diaz is human and he's going to be more human than he's been eventually. I'm kind of just, if you can get this all out of the way like this week and then really kick it back into gear, like through the end of the season, I can live with that. But
we'll see what happens with McGill. McGill and Peterson both said like they know their spot on this team is, obviously if it comes down to are you going to pitch over Scherzer or DeGrom? Like obviously not. So Cookie Carrasco, I don't know why he didn't have a rehab start. They just threw him right into the Flames the other day and obviously failed. So we'll see what happens. I mean, stuff's very shaky right now, and I definitely don't want the Mets by any means to take their foot off the gas and be like, we'll just get the wild card.
No.
Go in there, and especially because they won 2 of 3 from the Dodgers in both series.
Exactly. And also, if you're going to play the wild card, that's a whole other series you have to play. That's a whole other series that you have to get pitching through.
Right.
Like it's
not one game anymore.
Yeah. You need to preserve your arms. And I'm sure their eyes are on, the division, but They need to win the division.
So before we get any further here, I did promote this a little bit. So thanks to the Cyclones, we talked about this on Instagram before we went live here. The Cyclones did a special promo on, I think it was July 15th with Howie Rose, where if you remember, I don't know where it went, but I had the Keith Hernandez one in here.
Oh, I do remember us talking about it.
The Rise and Shine or whatever it was, Keith's voice. So then they did something very similar. I don't know if it matches like a series, like the same blue and orange alarm clock, but this is the Put It in the Books Howie Rose one. So they sent 4.
Does it say put it in the books?
I'm going to turn that in a second. But they sent 4. 2 of them are going to be given away. One's going to be for the studio. Then I guess I'll just save one in a box. So the way to get in the running to win this Howie Rose alarm clock from the Cyclones is simply push the share button on Facebook right now. It's not going to X you out of the show. If you're watching live, just hit the share button. Tell your friends you're watching Orange and Blue Thing. If you're watching on Twitter, hit the retweet button. Same thing. It's not going to close you out. Just hit it now. If you're listening afterwards as a replay, go back onto one of those platforms and get in the running. Someone pointed out in the comments that this is the wrong time, which it is because I did not set the time because I just opened it and put some batteries in it this morning. But this is what happens after you set the alarm and it goes off to whatever time you set it for. Hold on.
Live show. What
the fuck?
I feel like I heard something.
Did it this morning. Oh boy, hold on.
Just wait. Just wait. It's gonna be fun.
Just wait. It's gonna be great.
It's gonna be so worth it.
What the hell happened? Why did this happen? Hold on. Damn it.
Maybe because it's the wrong time.
I'm Howie Rose, and this day has a chance to be a home run. So get out of bed. Sleepy time is over. Put it in the books. Go out there and be amazing.
So that's the Howie Rose alarm clock.
Oh my gosh, what a way to wake up.
Right. So yeah, get in the running. And then also the same person who wins that will also win our weekly Coney Island prize package.
Wow.
So Coney Island Brewing Company is a official sponsor of the Mets. Not sponsor of the Mets, but one of the official beers in the ballpark and the official sponsor of all things T7L. So at our tailgate parties, we bring Coney Island beers down there, and they also sponsor the show. So we have shirts, we have koozies, we have bottle openers, we have a whole bunch of stuff from Coney Island. So simply share the show. Whoever wins this week is getting a monster package, the alarm clock, and a Coney Island prize pack. So may as well just promote for Coney Island as well for what they got going on, because I saw today that they're actually closed, which they said they need to give their staff a much needed break after a holiday weekend. So the staff is getting a break today. I think it's also raining in Coney Island. So no one's really going down there for much today.
No one's heading to
Maimonides. Come on, get it right. Maimonides. So check them out, but also get in the running for the free season tickets to next season. Super easy. All you have to do is text the word Coney Mets, no spaces, Coney Mets to 855-933-4223. It puts you in the running to win the 2 season tickets to next season at Citi Field, a $100 gift card to the brewery, and also a prize package of Mets, Coney Island Brewing shirts, hats, pint glasses, the whole 9. So definitely get in the running for that. And also go down to the brewery, which is at Maimonides Ballpark, where the Cyclones play. 1904 Surf Ave, Brooklyn, New York, 11224. Home of the Cyclones, obviously. 12 taps of limited brewery, only exclusive beer releases, a full kitchen, and an indoor and outdoor space where you can go kick back and relax near the beach, have some brews, and enjoy your day. If you don't live anywhere near here, near the ballpark, or you don't go to Citi Field for whatever reason, definitely check out their website. They have the beer finder. You could type in your zip code. It tells you where you can pick up their tasty beers. While we're on it, because I'm jumping around here a little bit, but we talked about it during our little Instagram. You asked last week about the playoff watch parties.
Yes.
So like we just talked about, like, let's not put the cart in front of the horse. Let's not talk playoff rotations
but
yet.
We have to prepare.
If you don't prepare, you're late.
Exactly.
So if by some chance that we are not at this playoff watch party, then it's all for naught, whatever.
Exactly.
But we will be.
Perfect. Yeah, I agree.
Putting it into the universe.
We will be at a playoff watch party.
We will be at playoff watch
for the
parties.
Mets.
Well, we're going to be at the home playoff games.
Correct.
So before I jump ahead here, if you're a season ticket member, which means like your home ticket package with the Seven Line Army, we emailed you like a month ago about securing the seats.
Yes.
I understand everyone's finances are different. Maybe you had to wait until today for some reason.
Right.
The amount of people that emailed last night saying, I have 3 tickets, but I need 2. Can you drop 1 seat? Please don't wait till last minute.
The
deadline is tonight at 11:59 p.m. for our members to secure their playoff strip.
Oh, it's tonight. Okay.
But today's the 6th, Julia.
Well, I didn't know if it ended like at midnight this morning.
Tonight.
Okay.
Midnight tonight.
Got it.
So if you didn't do that yet and you plan on it, don't wait until 11:58 tonight to do it, because without fail, there will be some kind of hiccup, maybe.
Yeah.
So figure it out.
And also just anticipate everyone's going to be doing it the last minute. The website might crash.
Well, I guess. I don't think it will, but
just plan ahead.
Take care of it. If you're gonna secure it, just do it now, please, or after the show, because if you have any kind of issue, it goes to me, and then it goes from me to the Mets. The Mets have to fix it. Then they email me back. Then I email you. It's a whole chain
process,
and we can't do that after hours. Well, we can, but my ticker rep is a saint.
Yeah.
And I don't think that
we don't want to do this.
We're not his only account either.
Right.
So whatever else he's dealing with, then he gets my email. Can you change Tom, Dick, and Harry's
you
account?
had weeks. You had weeks to do this.
Please take care of it.
Take care of it.
Okay. So
not now, after the show.
Here's the deal. Back in 2015, we spent every away game. They also did home games, but we were at the home games, so they didn't really promote it that much. At the Playwright on 35th. There's a couple of locations. Mm-hmm. There is 2 floors. I believe there's a 3rd floor. Maybe I'm just imagining it.
I remember 2 floors. I don't remember the 3rd.
But I think during COVID or something, I think they expanded. Don't quote me on that. I emailed this morning to find out. But at least 2 floors. We're going to be back at the Playwright. So I feel like there's some unfinished business in the Playwright.
Yeah.
2015, we came up a little short. The place does get super packed out, obviously, because it's not gigantic. We're not trying to fill up like McFadden's space for whatever, I don't know what their capacity is, but it's still hundreds.
Yeah.
So get there early, because what they are going to do, which I don't think they did this in 15, because if they did, I forgot.
Okay.
They're giving out free pitchers of beer for an hour before the game starts. Let's say whatever time the game starts. Pitchers, which I think is also kind of...
That's insanity.
That's also very generous.
Yeah.
Because there's no cover charge to get in.
It's very brave.
I feel like they should do like the 10-ounce cups.
Yeah.
But that's just me. It's not my beer, not my money.
Go Playwright.
They are going to give out free pitchers of beer, which more power to them, for an hour before every game. And then during the game, I told them, if we're coming, Coney Island needs to be represented.
Of course.
So Coney Island Brewing Company is going to be on special. They have drafts obviously on tap there. So I don't know exactly the prices on that yet, but whatever. It's free to get in, and they're giving you free beer for an hour before the game. And then we're going to hopefully sit there and watch the games. In 15, some people say, I don't like watching games at a bar because you can't hear anything. Like the game sound was blasting.
Yeah, they blasted it. You could hear everything.
There was nothing that happened in the game that we missed.
And it's also everyone is there.
By all your friends.
Everyone is there to watch the game.
Yeah.
Like everyone is very into it. Everyone's paying attention. It's almost as if you're like, I'm not going to say it's like you're at the game, but almost like when you're at the game where, you don't hear announcers around you, but you're with everyone, you're watching what's going on, and you're very much in on every single pitch.
I'm excited for it because it's also a very convenient location. I mean, granted, we live out here,
right?
But it being walking distance from Penn Station was great.
Yeah.
So last year, I remember after one of the wins, this is when SNY was still in Midtown.
Mm-hmm.
A bunch of fans left the Playwright and marched, a cowbell man. A bunch of people went from remember you could stand behind the glass and be on the show basically behind whoever was doing post game back then. So now they're in World Trade Center area, but back then people left the Playwright and walked up there to just keep the party going. That's where we were going to be for at least away games. I mean, they'll probably still do something for home games, but we'll be at the home games.
Right.
So circle it now. Playwright 35th. They've been great. And I'm glad they made it through the pandemic. I know a lot of the bars in Manhattan, like Foley's.
Yeah, they're not coming
back. A lot
back.
of our friends.
Did you see they were trying to figure out a way to come
officially
back,
announced that Foley's will not be coming back.
So sad.
Ever, I guess.
Yeah.
I think they had the idea that maybe there would be a Foley's 2.0, but I guess it's not happening. So that was a weird clearing my throat.
That's fine.
So that's the story. Playwright 35th. Can't wait. But first things first, let's get there.
Let's get there.
So another first things first, my pool. It is September 6th. If you've been watching the show, I have been talking about my pool being an utter disaster since May.
Yeah.
So in early May, we pulled the cover. The pool didn't look that great. Long story short, I worked on it in May, in June, in July, in August. And finally, the pool is crystal clear. The pump is running great. The jets are running strong.
Just
it's like a freaking
fall.
whirlpool out there. I went in the pool yesterday. I wanted to anyway because it was kind of.
It was hot out yesterday.
Thought it was going to rain, but it ended up being hot and humid. So I went to the track and rode a little bit in the morning, and then spent some time by the pool. I am not a pool guy. That was my 3rd time of the year going in the pool. I swear, any day this week that it's not raining, I will be going in that pool, even if it's cold, because I need to like get my money's worth out of this pool.
100%. Get use out of it.
So there was a hole in the filter, and I didn't know this. So there's like
hole in the filter.
You know what like air conditioning filters look like? Maybe like you take it off and you change it every few months. The filter in a pool, obviously the water goes through and it clears it out, goes back in. There was a little tear in it, so there was like cloudy water. So I kept going, and I'm like, oh, the water's cloudy. Like, oh, buy this algae killer, buy this, buy that. Like, and it was none of that. It was the pool filter bullshit going back in the pool. So finally, I figured it out. I took this thing apart last Wednesday. I wanted to tailgate, obviously, before the game, and I said to Kelly and Amelia, we are leaving at 1:00.
Okay.
At 11 a.m., I looked at the filter and I was like, I've never taken this thing apart before. If I open it, can I put this back together in 2 hours
before 1:00
and get the hell out of here and take a shower and everything? I'm like, yeah, fuck it. I open it up. There's holes in the filters. I couldn't put it back together because there's holes in the filters.
Right.
So I had to leave it off in pieces while I'm at the game, thinking about the game. Obviously, it was a great game. Nemo's catch, so on and so forth.
A great distracting game.
Met show.
Yeah.
And then put it back together on Thursday, and now the shit's running great. So it is what it is.
Pool
anyway,
party at Darren's.
Yeah.
All the fact checkers are invited.
Yeah, well, no, but yeah, we're gonna enjoy it
Kelly
the rest of the week.
No
So
from here.
That catch, were you in your seat?
I was in my seat.
I know sometimes they give you shit because maybe you're getting food or something.
I don't get food during the game. I don't leave my seat during the game.
Maybe you've gotten there late a couple times and they give you shit.
No, I am always in my seat.
I saw you and your dad killing it over there.
Always in my seat.
I saw dad skipped band practice.
Missed band practice, came to the game. I know he's always busy, so he finally came. He needed to warm up that strikeout chip. That was a more important rehearsal.
Nimmo catch. We were there if you remember, in 2016, the wild card game.
Yes.
Curtis Granderson had a catch up against the wall. It wasn't over the wall,
right? But
he
was
definitely
still
caught the ball and like hit the wall.
Yeah.
And you could hear a pin drop because when we're out there, and especially something like that, like everyone kind of stops and holds their breath.
I swear to God, that how I can describe it is I remember off the bat, and I am terrible at judging fly balls, so this was just complete dumb luck. But I kept saying, I was like, Brandon, you got it. Brandon, I just kept saying over and over again to the point where I stopped believing it myself, but I couldn't stop saying it.
Yeah.
And it was like you saw the ball went over the wall, and everyone is silent because for like a split second, you're like, fuck.
Yeah.
And then you just see like it from where we were sitting at a certain point, like we lose Brandon in our eyesight because the wall comes into play. So all you see is the ball over the wall. Brandon is not in sight. And then you just see a glove pop over the wall and snatch it back. I was feral. I was insane.
That was like 10 feet from Elvis.
Oh
so,
my
like,
God.
That spot's great. Like if you remember when Citi Field opened, right in front of where we sit was the home run wall.
Yeah.
And then it slowly kept moving forward and forward. So like, what are you, 142?
142.
So 142, 141, where I sit, there's like a 15-foot or 20-foot gap from there to the field of play. Right in front of Elvis is 140. It's right there.
Yeah. So
he was right there as close as could possibly be.
Also, Starling Marte's home run was like a foot in front of us, like where we were in 142. Yeah.
So
it was a fun game.
Unbelievable. And I just play the clip here. I'm not going to play the sound, but how good did we look out there?
Oh my God. I'm sorry. Like not to make it about us, but look at that. Come on. It's just like Jesus and his disciples. That's what that is. It's freaking awesome.
So I know I showed you in our group chat. I think I also put it on Twitter. But I ordered like a canvas of this freeze frame.
That was as soon as my dad saw that, he's like, "Oh, Darren needs that. Darren needs that to be framed."
I would love it to be a shirt.
Yeah.
See, you know what it is? Like you can't use people's photographs to make shirts unless you get the rights from that photographer.
That's technically not a photograph.
I know.
I feel like
I think that
John from SNY would be like, "Yes, take it."
I don't know if he's allowed to do that.
Well, if it was his decision.
Right. But I think that we should finally team up on like an official SNY T7L collab
for
shirt.
sure.
That would
just
be sick.
That would be so sick.
I don't know how I'm going to get it done, but one day I want to get that signed by DeGrom.
100%.
Not DeGrom. Yeah, DeGrom. It would be sick if Nimmo was in the photo too, but like the way the angle of the camera was.
No, but it's awesome. And honestly, the most underrated part of that whole play is that Justin Turner hit the ball.
Yeah.
Which was amazing because I didn't realize that till after the fact. I would have been so fucking angry if Justin Turner ruined that game.
If you watch the game the next day, Turner hit another ball to Nimmo.
And he looks at DeGrom in the dugout and they're both just laughing.
Yeah.
It's so funny. That's what DeGrom is saying made him crack up, was Justin Turner when he was walking back, looked at DeGrom and he just started laughing.
Yeah. Like DeGrom and Scherzer are like inseparable in the dugout.
Yeah.
And whatever. I was going to talk about is doing dip. Oh, who cares at this point? So, they're standing there if you didn't see it. And when when Turner walks by, they do kind of like just chuckle at each other.
Yeah.
And why do I keep saying Nimmo? DeGrom is like, you get what you get.
I love it.
So
Brandon's reaction was just so
insane.
He's never shown any emotion other than just like a happy-go-lucky smile.
Right.
That was, I think that's what made it so, like, it was going to be a great catch no matter what, but to see something that made Brandon Nimmo that hyped up was like, oh my God, that was a really big play.
Yeah.
Oh, awesome.
So let us know where you're watching from. We'll pull some of your comments into the chat here, in from the chat onto the show. We appreciate you guys checking in each week. We are typically right around noonish every Tuesday.
Yes, we do.
Things do change every once in a while, but right around noonish. We appreciate you guys watching live and telling your friends all about Orange and Blue Thing, season 6 now. Coming up soon, very soon, QBC.
Oh.
And I'm very happy that it's in December.
It's usually November, right?
It's usually like January.
Is it?
Yeah, it's usually like.
Why do I remember it being? What was November?
Last year may have been a little earlier.
Okay.
I'm not sure, but last year was November.
Okay.
I had to pop in. It was my parents' wedding anniversary, so I couldn't stay. But this year it's December 3rd, and the reason why I like that is because you can't go.
I'll be in New Zealand.
Jesus Christ. The reason why I like that is because it's right after Black Friday.
Yeah.
So what we are going to do, which we haven't done in a long time, is set up a booth at QBC to sell stuff. So we will see what we get through on Black Friday. Mm-hmm. We have some new stuff coming out, which we can't show off yet. And then we will bring things down to QBC. And I don't know if I talked about this on the show, but remember when Daniel Murphy and Turi were on the show, we talked about him signing the bobblehead?
Yes.
So he did do that. Wow. And I was going to do an auction online, and I figured that's going to be difficult because then you got to pay like fees and so on and so forth, and someone to host it. I didn't want to set up an eBay account just for that.
Right.
We will be doing a live auction at our table of the signed Murphy
that's
bobble.
Awesome.
So people can like outbid each other.
That's great.
I don't know what they call that, but whatever.
I don't know. That's awesome.
So people will be able to bid on that, and all the profits will go to the prom series.
That's amazing. Which, by the way, we didn't talk about this, but the weekend or the day before Old Timers Day, Daniel Murphy was there. I just need to give props to Tori Murphy for a second because she's such a badass. On top of, we've always talked about prom series and how great it is. This woman is like 8 months pregnant. And she put on an event at Citi Field the day before Old Timers Day, like in a suite at Citi Field, hosted like 24 foster care girls, helped them get back to school outfits, toiletries, everything they need. Just, she's awesome. And I can't sing her praises enough. So that's great. I'm glad.
Was that what Taiwan Walker's the other day?
I think that's something different. I think so. Taiwan Walker's wife, I just learned this. She grew up in the foster care system. I'm pretty sure.
So if you didn't see what we're talking about, Taiwan set up something at Citi Field, I think last Thursday, giving out tacos.
It was with like a taco.
A voluntary donation, and you could get a taco, take a photo with Taiwan.
Yes. And I think all of the proceeds went to, I don't remember exactly the name of the organization, but something for children in the foster care system. So I don't think the two are related, but I'm sure Taiwan's wife was a part of it's all all the MLB wives get together to do stuff for prom series. So Mets wives are awesime.
So people are saying that's called a silent auction. I don't know what's so silent about it because you're writing your name down and what you'd be willing to bid.
I guess because it's not a 500.
I guess, but
is that a loud auction?
I don't know. But I think the bobble not signed was like $80.
Yeah.
So if you think of it, you're getting a 1-of-1 signed Daniel Murphy, unless someone else goes and gets one signed. But as far as we're concerned, the only or the first signed Daniel Murphy bobblehead. If you don't remember what this is, it's in 15 when the Mets clinched in Cincy, he grabbed Chris Duell's T7 LA flag and held it out.
Yes.
And then it was all over the press, and the next day it was in the newspaper. So we made a bobblehead of that, which is sold out, but now you can get a signed one. I don't know. Maybe people in the comments can guess what that's going to go for, but a silent auction at QBC. So QBC tickets go up on September 22nd. The event date is Saturday, December 3rd. It is back in Queens, which is cool. It's at a hotel in Queens, which is great. It's a very convenient location. And just announced Bartolo Colon and Howard Johnson are both going to be there.
Wow.
They're working on a third player, which I know who it is, but we can't talk about it yet. Not confirmed. So once that comes out and they find out, how much money they have to pay all these guys to show up, then ticket prices will be announced. So for now, at least Bartolo and Hojo will be there. So that's going to be really cool. Awesome. Maybe I could bring this
get that
Bartolo
signed.
bobble belly.
Have him sign the belly
with me to, maybe get that signed. Also, we have a bobblehead coming out where it makes noise. So I said that recently. We're making a bobblehead or making a bobblehead that makes noise.
Can I guess what it is?
No, because if you guess it right, I don't want to announce it yet.
Okay.
But we saw the Narco one came out with
Yeah.
Edwin Diaz. It plays the Narco song, and I'm sure they have to pay out the ass for that.
So it's not
It's
that.
not music.
Okay.
It's not going to be battery operated, but it does make noise.
Okay.
So once that is finalized, I'm waiting for the sample. Normally we just take photos and put it up, but I want to show how it works. So once I actually have the sample, we'll show it off, and then you guys can buy it. So
Fun.
What I've been doing on these bobblehead releases is we don't set a number until the pre-sale goes up.
Got it.
So the reason being is we might severely underestimate how many to make, and then we put it up and they sell out a minute. We're like, damn, you could have made more.
Yeah.
So most bobbles, if you look at it, like this Bartolo bobble, it says it is out of 2,196. Why they came up with that number, I have no idea. But ours are usually out of like, what does that say? You want to pick up this one, the chalkboard?
This.
That probably says out of what, 500, 600?
500.
So that makes it a little bit more special. More than a quarter of those are made of these. You know what I mean? So once our next bobble goes up, we let it stay up for like an hour or two. And then we put the number of like out of whatever. You know what I mean?
Right.
So that's the story on that. So
also, I'm not sure if you guys noticed that he added his press pass to Old Timers Day to the Wall of Fame.
Yep.
So
Wall of Fame behind
hanging off of the
shrine.
Fantasy Camp MVP trophy.
Shrine Fantasy Camp MVP. Yeah. So anyway, it is what it is. So definitely make plans for that on Saturday, December 3rd. Again, circle your calendar, September 22nd. Tickets will go up, and I'm sure they're going to sell very fast because the time of the year is great. Early December, in between Thanksgiving and Hanukkah and Christmas, and also great guests. So it's going to be a fun time.
Yeah.
So speaking of great guests, why, besides just being awesome, why was there a reason why KB was at the ballpark on Saturday night besides throwing out the first pitch?
I'm really not sure. I don't know. I remember seeing something earlier in the day or the day before that him, Aaron Andrews.
You were at the game, right?
I was at the game.
Okay.
Whoever else, they were doing something for NFL, and I don't know if that took place in New York, and maybe he had to be in New York for that, so it just worked out or whatever. But it was so nice, and I loved how when I feel bad because I always forget. I know Colin is the guy who does. Do you know the name of the woman who does the
Cosell?
Yeah.
Oh no.
The woman.
Marisol.
Yes, Marisol. So when she announced Kevin, she didn't even just say like, "Oh, it's Kevin Burkhardt." She said like, "Let's check in with Kevin," and then he threw out the first pitch, and it was so nice.
So if you didn't see, KB did throw out the first pitch. Then he was out in the booth, and I was watching from. We were in Fire Island for the weekend, so I didn't actually get to like listen to. I was in that room with a bunch of people and couldn't hear what he was saying, but he was in the booth for a while. And I put out a tweet from eating churros on the sidelines to being the biggest star in the booth. Sorry, Keith. KB is back at Citi Field, and he spent, I think, like the whole inning with the guys.
I know.
So it's serious. Like I'm kind of making a joke there. He did way more than just eat churros, but the rise from like selling cars in Jersey, we've talked about it often. Selling cars in jerseys, grinding on whatever broadcast he could do, whether it was like high school sports, college sports, working at the Fan, doing whatever he could do to just like get his name out there. Then he worked for SNY and obviously, ran up through the popularity ranks, and now he's going to call the fucking Super Bowl.
I'm so
How
happy
nuts
for
is
him.
that?
I'm so happy for him. And I asked because I recorded him throwing out the first pitch and just like put it on my Instagram story just because I was so excited about it. And so I was like, "Oh, thank you so much for this." Blah, blah. I'm like, "Oh, will you be back for the postseason? Should we be lucky enough to be there, or will like football have taken over at that point?" He's like, "No, I'll definitely be back in October." So he'll be back at Citi Field, which I'm very excited about. But also, people want to say he's a curse, so now should
at
we
least
be nervous
one
about it?
person on Instagram was like, "I have a whole timeline that I could explain why." They have like
I honestly respect that.
Like
I
a
respect
thesis.
the conspiracy theory, but no,
this person's gonna write like a thesis on like why KB is a Mets curse.
I almost feel like you could say the same about David Wright. I guess it's like, they never actually won when he was there, but he's like kind of, it's not the same thing, but it's like, oh, if they're gonna win, I want David Wright to be a part of it. I want Kevin Burkhardt to be a part of it. Those are the things, like I want him to be there. So I hope.
I highly doubt Kevin Burkhardt being in the building has anything to do with like Scherzer hurting himself, maybe, or like a bat being cold, or the bullpen doing something. You know what I mean? It's just it's lunacy.
Yeah.
But people really believe like weird shit.
I I'm superstitious. I'm very much in the camp of like, if there's a no-hitter going, you don't move, you don't change anything. Or, if things are going really bad, change your seat, move some things around. Mm-hmm. I don't know if one person holds all the power like Kevin, but
I don't think so.
I don't know.
So you were there on Saturday. I got that text from you and you said, I think I just heard the strikeout.
No,
chant.
I definitely did. I don't know. It was some pregame like hype video that they were just showing on the Jumbotron. It was before they announced the lineups or anything like that. But it opened with this, like it didn't show the 7 line, but it was just the audio of the strikeout chant. And I knew it was that because they even did the woo at the end. And I was like, oh, that's definitely. No one else is wooing here.
Right.
That's us. So that was awesome. I feel like we talk about this. I'm like, I don't understand why it doesn't catch on more. I don't understand why they don't buy into that more. Like, I feel like after a strikeout, that should be a thing. Like on the Jumbotron, show like a hand and like, get it going.
Now that you say that, DJ Razor, who does all the audio and stuff at the ballpark, he wrote something on, he's friendly with a lot of the Islanders fans, like Corinne and all them. And he wrote something like, hey, who can I get in touch with, yada, yada, about, doing something with the strikeout chant at Citi Field. So I sent him a message this morning and we've been going back and forth. And I guess he does work closely with like the video board ops. Like he doesn't do the editing for like the graphics, but I mean, why not? And I hope that,
especially for imagine in the postseason, an entire stadium doing that after a DeGrom strikeout.
I have to be, we say this all the time. Like, what? You guys stole that from
it was not us.
We did not invent this chant.
Right.
All credit goes to the king, Mike Cassiano. I think that if they do some kind of promo hype video, I think it would be cool if it was like a collab between us and him.
Of course.
Because like he invented it. We brought it to popularity and, do it in other ballparks and whatever. Have Mike and us and something together would be great.
Yeah. No, definitely.
Yeah. Whether it's even something like they pre-record of him doing it, and then they show that on the screen, even though that's not like a live feed,
right.
That would be cool.
Oh, so sick.
We will see what happens. I mean, it's let's not get too excited yet. We'll see. But I just
also feel like the Steve Cohen administration, whatever you want to call it, they have been so in tune with like enhancing the fan experience that I feel like that's just a no-brainer. So
let's talk about the fan experience here because I got fucking crushed last Wednesday, or maybe it was Thursday.
Why?
Okay, wait a minute. We were at the game on Wednesday. Timmy Trumpet didn't play on Wednesday.
He didn't play on Tuesday. He played on Wednesday.
He did play on Wednesday.
Right.
Gotcha. Mm-hmm. So he was going to be there, and he was there on Tuesday. He did take me out to the ball game, which I don't think he really played that. Yeah. I think that was like.
Well, he was saying, I watched his Instagram stories, and he was very nervous because he's like, they just asked me to learn this song. I never played it before. I'm kind of really nervous on how it's going to go. So I feel like last minute they were like, okay, let's just record it, and then we'll.
I'm not thinking like and I heard Gio talk about this morning too on the fan, but like if you check, I tweeted this like on the spot when he was doing it. I don't even like his motions. It wasn't going with the music.
But also I will say benefit of the doubt, like whenever you're watching, like when Piano Man is playing, it's always out of sync.
It's delayed. Right.
So you never know.
All right. Who knows? Either way, so on and so whatever. It is what it is. I love the trumpet.
Yeah.
We talk about this.
Yeah.
I was not even critical of the trumpets. I wrote, I like the trumpets. I'm excited for the trumpets. If the trumpets happen tonight, I'll be excited for it. I said, I think the trumpets are getting played out.
Yeah.
And then I got fucking crushed. Like, how dare you say that people shouldn't be having fun? I was like, I'm all for it.
That. We talked about this last week.
Pull up the tweets.
We talked about this last week. I think it definitely, if you don't want it to lose its shine, it should be saved for like when you're the event of like, not cutting to commercial and watching them walk in. Those should be saved for high leverage save situations.
Right.
If it's like but I guess every game at this point is important if he's coming in for a same situation.
I love the trumpets, but like if you're critical of anything, people will get like mad at you.
I will also say, and I was victim of this too at the game, mostly just because I was trying to get Timmy Trumpet, but like. It's so true. Tim Healy put out a tweet and he was like, I was wondering why, like, when Timmy Trumpet was there, like the crowd was not, it seemed like they weren't as into it.
Filming it.
Everyone's filming. And I was guilty of it too, or at least I attempted to film it. And then like halfway through, I realized I was filming myself, which was so embarrassing. And I just stopped. But like, this is my PSA to everyone. And I was guilty of it too. But like, if you were at like a high stakes sporting event, like when you're in the moment, but just watch, because I guarantee you, nothing that you are going to capture on your phone is going to be better than the replay you can watch from a billion different camera angles later. Right. Just be in the moment.
I need it for the reels.
Of course. Well, you're that's different. That's like marketing, you own a business, whatever. But everybody else, just be in it. Because if you want it to be this awesome, epic thing that's even worth looking back and watching, if everyone is there on their phones, what are you even recording?
No, I know.
Be in the moment.
Say what you will about Portnoy, and not everyone likes Dave Portnoy, Barstool, whatever. He wrote something the next day and he's like, this is electric. This is kind of embarrassing. Like, this doesn't even look like these people are having fun.
I know.
No one really was jumping around.
I know. Everyone was looking through their phones.
So yeah, I mean, it's the same. But that's the fucking generation we live in.
I know.
Like, people, when there's like a street fight, people don't like jump into like.
No, I know.
Not that you should jump. I'm not saying you should jump in and get yourself fucking stabbed.
Yeah.
But when something's going down, everyone's like, let me just film this instead of trying to like
actually de-escalate.
Right. So I mean, in any situation now with a sporting event, people want to film it. So granted, after all me writing like this is getting played, it is getting more played out because now like football games they're playing it. Like Narco is good for Narco. Good for Timmy Trumpet
but
and
I also
Blaster Jack or whoever it is.
Love Timmy Trumpet. I think it's Blaster Jacks.
Whatever.
I don't know, but whatever. But they flat out said like Narco is only Edwin Diaz's song.
Right.
Nobody else should be
I'm
using that
fucking
song.
all about the Spite Tour.
Oh my God, I know.
I'm about to talk about this
go
with
ahead.
the Braves.
Go ahead.
So the other day, the Braves were in a rain delay, I believe, and they were playing on the big screen, not the whole game, but at least the end, where the Nationals beat the Mets again. And they played Narco in their ballpark, which I can't play because it will probably get flagged. Yeah. But I love it.
I love it. I love stoking the flames of the rivalry, especially down the stretch, because it's no matter what. And that's, again, it's like I'm very petty and I don't like to lose. But like, if we're going to like at least make it fun, make it like if we're going to win, it's going to be so satisfying. And if we lose, like it might suck, but like you enjoy the ride of, oh my God.
And in this era, it's like we're talking about like in this era, like, oh, people filming instead of whatever.
Yeah.
Talking shit on the internet between teams is great, like you said, because it's great for the great for the fan bases to jump on board with something, and it's not like malicious stuff.
No, but
it
makes people care. It makes you more in like caring about if they're actually going to win this game, if they're actually going to win the division. Because at this point, it's like a lot of fans, and I'm in this camp as well. It's I don't just want to go to the postseason. It's I want to fucking beat the Braves to get there.
Right.
So, and I think that makes it fun. That's what being a sports fan is. So
yeah. So we will see what happens. I mean, this month's going to be nuts. So we talked about it a little bit before, but Puma actually put the tweet out. We highlighted someone else earlier, but the Mets are 50-33 since June 1st, and the Braves are 61-24 over that same stretch.
Crazy.
So that's fucking crazy.
Listen, props to the Braves. They, they very much when they were back 10 games in the division could have just been like, well, fuck it. I guess we'll go after the wild card, whatever. But
right. I mean, but everyone's doing Narco now. So it's like, I'm looking in the comments here. They think it was Alabama or Ohio State doing Narco. I mean,
yeah, there was like a trumpet player
it's getting played out. I mean, I
don't think it's, but you know what? Good for the bands. And Edwin Diaz is the one who put them on the map.
Do you ever think that, like, I don't know, who do you like?
Taylor Swift?
Taylor Swift or whatever, like a song of hers be like, oh, it's getting played out, but you still like it.
Yeah, but you know what? It's played out I think it's epic for each individual fan base if they can if it's played. It's just a cool song. I'm pretty sure they said that it was like when they were designing this song, it's like they wanted to be like you're going out to war and like the feeling that they wanted you to get when you hear the trumpets is that you're about to die. Like that was the feeling behind it, which is so epic for any sporting event, especially for a closer in baseball.
Yeah.
And that's the cool thing for us. Edwin Diaz, no matter how big it gets, he will be the one to have put it on the map, which is so cool and goes to the point of like fucking Rob Manfred doing everything but marketing his own players to try to make the game more marketable. It was this easy. Right. It was get a catchy song and a good player and give them a little bit of exposure, and look what you did.
Right.
It's that easy. So I hope baseball can take that and run with it.
Absolutely.
We'll see.
So let's move on to next week at Citi Field because for the first time ever, the 7-line Army will be wearing black. We've been wearing 15 since 2000. We've been wearing orange since 2000. We've been wearing 15.
We've been wearing 15.
I'm shot. I had one of those nitro.
You know what? It's a holiday hangover week.
I had one of those nitro cold brews, and I don't think I should have any of those anymore. I'm like, my mouth is dry. I'm stumbling on my words.
You're doing great.
I think my vision's a little blurry.
Where's your water?
It's right next to me, but I don't want to have to pee over the next 15 minutes. So either way, we've been wearing orange since 2015. The reason that started was because every team we played in the playoffs wore blue. We said, hey, let's stand out so we don't look like we're going to blend in with the maybe some fans from the Royals or the Dodgers that came to Citi Field.
And the Cubs, yeah.
And the Cubs too. So that's why we started wearing orange exclusively. We talked about maybe changing colors. Mm-hmm. We're not ever doing that. We wear orange. And that's who we are. So that's like the same thing we talked about last week, like, or even just before with DeGrom.
Right.
It stands out so good. It's contrasts great with whatever other colors people are wearing.
Orange is, I feel like, so distinctively Mets. Maybe, the Giants too,
but that's it came
from the Giants. So I love the orange. I agree.
Right. So we are orange, but for the first time ever, next Friday we'll be wearing black,
which I do kind of
because it is a blackout Friday at Citi Field. I know they give out the t-shirts, and a lot of fans do pick out their favorite black Mets stuff and wear it to the ballpark on each Friday. But what we are doing is every person who bought the single game ticket is getting the Scherzer version of our what we call the 2000 jersey.
Nice.
Which I don't think you have that one.
No.
Like Taryn Ritchie wear it often. I like mine. I got mine customized.
It's
with
very nice.
31 Piazza on there.
Ah.
I don't know if you saw this photo earlier today. Look at how good of a match this is.
Oh, damn.
So on the left here, that is the Scherzer. On the right, that's my 31. I got that customized at Stitches. That's my Piazza version, but same width, same bottom cut hem. I told them I wanted this to be as close as possible to the original authentic.
Right on the money.
So yeah, the Mets logo is the perfect size, the T7L, the Mets logo on the sleeve, the striping down the side, the V-neck. Everything is perfect.
That's awesome.
So every person who bought a single game ticket is picking up this jersey at the game. Our members had the option to purchase one for I think like $30. Like crazy
what
deal.
What a steal.
They also have to get theirs at the ballpark. So that's what's going on next Friday at Citi Field. If you want to come tailgate with us though, which I highly encourage, the details are on our website. So hit up the7line.com. You click the little blog button on the top, and all the details are there with even a map on how to get to the Marina Lot. So Marina Lot is our home. For some reason, people like to be like, hey, why don't we leave the Marina Lot and go back to MTA? Like, the Marina Lot is our home. And
it's the scenery. It's the vibe.
Well, it's not only that. Like, the Mets specifically asked us years ago.
Yeah.
Like, hey, your group is getting too big. You can't take over the MT lot because of the way that's situated underneath the bridge. Yeah. For the walking, the people walking between the 7 train and the railroad, we were taking up too much space and causing too much traffic, jams with the way that there was like an L over there.
Right.
Like, move to the marina, do whatever you want. There's grass there, and they even blew out that hole in the fence to get us from the parking lot to the bullpen gate. It's like a straight shot down Seaver Way. So Marina Lot's our home. Come and tailgate there. But if you go to the site, all the details are there, and you could scroll down, and there's the little map. So thanks to the Mets for taking care of us out there. They even, if you notice at the night games, they even added like extra lighting. There's I think they're on like a trailer. Like
I know what you're talking about.
They pull them through the spotlights, so they put spotlights there. They open up the fence for us. And I'm not going to lie, I'm not going to make excuses because I don't know what else they could do here, but traffic has been a nightmare getting out of the ballpark.
I know.
Granted, also, it's been U.S. Open.
Yes, that's really anywhere you go. And it was the U.S. Open last time, and I'm pretty sure the outing before that was the Subway Series, which it does not matter where you park. It doesn't matter what you do. That's going to be freaking mayhem getting out of there. And honestly, expect the same for the postseason. So mass transit, if you can, is really the way to go. And then just meet us in the Marina Lot.
Kelly already said in our group chat too. She's like, I will be taking the train to the postseason. I have to bring the truck. Like the truck is, it is what it is. It's such a visible thing. Yeah. And it's like our built-in DJ booth and all that.
Honestly, just sleep in it. If there's a game the next day.
I have an air mattress here that we never opened, and I missed the return window on like sending it back. So
that's honestly what you should do.
Air mattress in the back of, not going to stay there, but like chill for like an hour or two. Like, all right,
like sleep out traffic, take a nap before you go back home.
Right.
Absolutely.
So that might be the plan. But like we said, let's just get there first.
Yeah.
In the meantime, what should fans do about getting tickets, Julia?
Oh, you gotta go to TickPick. This is how we bought our ticket to the game on Saturday. We used the code OABT. My boyfriend did not have a TickPick account. Shame on him. But he used his new account to use our promo code OABT to get $10 off a purchase of $99 or more. So create your new TickPick account. Go to TickPick.com or the TickPick app.
Look at these prices.
I know. If you're trying to go to a Mets game, you can go to
there?
anything.
What is that?
I see all single digits.
Insane. And no fees.
No fees.
So we talked about this. Yeah, we talked about this last week too. Like, other competitors might put up like, hey, here's a $5 ticket, but $20 in fees.
Right.
TickPick, no fees. They charge the seller the fees. So when they come home on Monday, you can go to the game on Monday versus the Cubs for $8.
Crazy. And these are all big games, people. Every game counts.
You know what it is? School's back in sesh.
Yeah.
Not as many people can make it out. If you noticed, also like our ticket plan, our prices go down in like September. They're also down in April.
Yeah.
The beef of the ticket prices when it comes to any plan is July, August,
right?
Whatever.
Summer when season.
So next Thursday, let me see, what's the low water mark next week? September 14th, which is next week versus the Cubs. You can go to the game for $6.
Crazy.
So hit up TickPick, type in Mets, scroll down, and definitely use our promo code like Julia just said, OABT. Will give you the $10 off any first-time user.
And that is good for, obviously, we think you should buy Mets tickets, but any tickets that you buy through TickPick, our promo code is good for. So
yeah, we're getting some people in the comments. They all love TickPick, and I'm sure you will too if you give them a shot. So we talked Blackout Friday. We talked Coney Island. We talked Playwright. We have to give away some stuff. So each week we give away a prize package from Coney Island Brewing Company. This week we are doing the Coney Island Brewing Company / Howie Rose alarm clock from the Cyclones.
This week's winners are very lucky.
Yes.
This is a big pack.
Well, next week's winners.
Correct.
This week's winners are from, we do. Yeah. We're working a week past, right? Yes. So for last week's episode on Twitter, we have ebex17s. Woo! And on Facebook, a very familiar name, Stephanie Lombardo, Yay! Who actually used to call us every once in a while. Remember her voice? She's from Jersey.
I really wasn't here for the phone calls.
Really?
Yeah, that was like a tail end of my existence on this show.
She may have been on your show as well, though.
Oh, maybe on Big Apple Trivia.
So shout out to Stephanie.
TBT.
And ebex17s. We have some packages coming your way. I actually already contacted them for their addresses, which Julia is always very happy that
I'm very
take
proud.
Care of that. So we talked about this before we went live, and I asked you if you ever watched the show Eastbound and Down,
which I did not,
and you said no.
No.
Right before my MVP season in Fantasy Camp 2020, a week before that, this was January at some point, like mid-January, I had the flu.
Or was it
don't know.
Really COVID?
I don't know if it was COVID because it was like 2 months before COVID actually hit, but I was sick in bed and I quarantined myself into like the downstairs. We have like a spare room next to the kitchen, and I stayed in there for like 5 days. And I've already seen Eastbound and Down, but I rewatched the entire series of every season. And I thought it was done. I thought it was over. I guess not, because this morning on Twitter, the official Eastbound and Down account put up that the pitch is back. Eastbound and Down 2024. I don't want to have to wait until 2024 to see this.
Yeah, it's such a long time.
It seems like it is, but it's really only like a year and 2 months.
That's
so maybe
scary.
It's like January of 2024.
Fingers crossed.
And I hope that this is legit because I can't see it not being, but it says the pitch is back. Why it has to wait a year and something to get it out if they've already filmed some parts, unless this was just like one scene they put together.
Yeah, it's probably just like a teaser.
If you've never seen Eastbound and Down, you haven't seen it yet, so I think that you should sit down and binge this.
What's the premise?
All right, so the premise is Kenny Powers is a pitcher. He's a closer. He's awesome. He's like on the top of the world, and he starts to suck, and he goes to the minor leagues, and he tries to like fight his way back to the bigs. He ends up being a gym teacher, and he's just like reckless. He drinks, he does drugs, he curses at the kids. He befriends this guy, Stevie Janowski, that works with him at the school. He convinces Stevie Janowski to be like his like partner in crime, like his agent, whatever, but doesn't like really pay him anything.
They
move to Mexico together. He plays for some Mexican league. They start calling him La Flama Blanca. It's insane.
So it's a baseball related.
It's a baseball related show of just like this degenerate man who really thinks he's the man, but he's really not. He's just like a washed up scumbag.
Right.
And then he does eventually make his comeback, and he comes back into the bigs, but then it all goes to shit. But I guess it's back.
Okay.
So it's excellent. I think that you should find. It's basically someone in the comments wrote it's a John Rocker in a sitcom.
Okay, got it.
So that's the story. It's a great show. I'm very excited for it. So I noticed that the Eastbound and Down direct messages are open. So I sent them a direct message this morning, and I wrote, hey, are you guys up for running some sort of social media contest to pick a fan to be an extra in the crowd for a future episode? Whether or not I get a reply to this, the really only reason I ask this is because I want to nominate myself.
He's like, I don't care about throwing out a first pitch in a major league ballpark, but I need to be an extra in Eastbound and Down.
I need to be an extra in Eastbound and Down, and I have to be on Survivor.
Okay.
So
we all have our dreams.
Two goals.
Have you made your tape for Survivor?
No, I keep saying it.
Come on.
But I'm definitely going to use the clips from this show to be in that.
Yeah, make moves.
So Eastbound and Down, Survivor.
All right.
I don't know what else is the goal right now, but that's it. So Mets are back in action tonight after the non-rain out yesterday when it didn't rain. One game tonight at 6:35. Don't forget, earlier first pitch in Pittsburgh.
Is there supposed to be more rain like this whole week in Pittsburgh?
I don't know. Maybe.
All right.
But they can't play a triple header. So tomorrow's a doubleheader. DeGrom's going to pitch at least one of them. I don't know which game of tomorrow he is going to pitch, but that is the story. Playwright postseason watch parties. Look forward to that. And a whole bunch more. So watch the show, tell your friends, subscribe, do all that good stuff. We appreciate your views each week. And thank you to Coney Island Brewing Company.
Yes.
Thank you to Tick Pick.
Tick Pick.
And I want to give a special shout out. I don't know if he's watching. Shoemaker got a little banged up on his BMX bike this past weekend.
Poor Shoe. Feel better.
Feel better to Shoe. And we will see you guys next Tuesday, right? You'll be back here?
I hope so. All
right, cool.
Yeah, that's the plan.
Thank you guys. See you next week. Put in the books, as Howie would say. And we will.
Where's your soundboard?
I don't know. I fucked up. See you next week.
Ooh.
Bye. Put in the books.